I guess what feels like the biggest splash is this Wilson Ramos deal. 1 year, $2 million.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Sort of, with Austin going to the Cubs, needed that veteran catcher because I think that as much as there are guys in the farm system that we like, there's nobody's yet ready to kind of move into that everyday job. And certainly there's not a second guy if they hadn't brought somebody in. So, so I think it, like, from that perspective, the signing makes sense. He spent the last 2 seasons with the Mets. Sergio Alcantara was designated for assignment to make room on the roster, which, by my calculation, just leaves Jose King in the organization of the prospects acquired from the Diamondbacks in the J.D. Martinez trade. Jose King was last seen at West Michigan. Not that he's missing, we just haven't seen him play anywhere else since. So, Luke, what are your thoughts on the Wilson Ramos addition to the roster?
I think it's good. I think that this we knew a move of this caliber was going to be made, whether it was Austin Romine coming back to Detroit or getting a guy like Wilson Ramos or Alex Avila, who I actually heard that there was rumors he was coming back. Maybe he was between, I believe, the Tigers and the Nationals. He ended up going with the Nationals. I think it was the Nationals. Don't quote me on that. I think it was definitely an East Coast team, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, we knew a guy like this was coming. This, as you said kind of in the intro, this makes perfect sense. Helps have a veteran catcher kind of coach along your young up-and-coming prospects, i.e. Jake Rogers. There's been a lot of chit-chat lately that AJ Hinch has been talking about Jake Rogers, about getting him back into the fold, getting him back into the mix with this team, which I am a huge fan of. Obviously, you and I are big advocates for Jake coming up here and getting a fair shake. We definitely feel like thus far he has not been given that. So if this means more hopefully playing time and progression from Jake Rogers, being able to have a guy like Wilson Ramos kind of show him the ropes, I think it's great. I think you're definitely in a good spot. We've talked a lot about Griner and how we're kind of like, whatever happens with him happens. I know they signed, wasn't it Dustin Garneau, I think, to a minor league deal or a one year deal, something like that earlier on in the offseason. So got some catching depth there. And Haas got outrighted to the minors. So he's in the minors right now too, if it comes down to it. Also got Dylan Dingler roaming around. So we definitely have a lot of different catchers kind of in the mix. I would say, though, out of all those names we just mentioned, really the only 2 or 3 I'm keeping my eyes on are definitely Jake Rogers, Dylan Dingler, who I don't think we'll even be seeing at all this year. But it's mainly, I think, what we're looking at is Ramos Rogers 2021. That's the tandem we'll see. Will it eventually kind of flip and it becomes Rogers Ramos? Only time will tell with that. Mm-hmm. But right now, I definitely think you're going to see Wilson Ramos being the starter coming out of camp, and then we'll see what happens after that. I really hope they don't do Ramos Griner coming out of camp. I mean, even if Grayson Griner has like a spectacular, the only way I could see that happening is if Grayson Griner has a beast of a camp and Jake Rogers absolutely just craps the bed. That's the only situation I can see where they have Rogers not making the camp and Griner does. And if that does happen, I'm just going to be like, again, we're doing this again. It's so frustrating if that were to happen, but I don't think that will happen as of now. So Wilson Ramos, welcome to Detroit. I think him and Miguel Cabrera are good buddies. I think they work out a lot. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. Always fun to get to play ball with your friends. That's great. And he'll serve his role as a veteran catcher. He'll hit. Hopefully he can help out on defense. And mainly I think his main role kind of passing the reins, so to speak, to Jake Rogers, hopefully in the not too distant future.
Yeah, and I think like